1, 2, 3. You guys see that? Whoa, I just punched a hole in my robot, yes. Whoa, what is this, guys? Is this the Ecovacs T8? Yes, the non-camera version. I can't wait to get this opened up and show you what this is all about, because this guy has this very special sensor and it's actually quite capable, but hold on 1 second. Well, I was just as excited as you guys are. I couldn't wait for the unboxing or any of that mumble jumble, so I decided to get this charged up and see how well the Ecovacs T8 does. I did create an area select around here, but I decided to go straight instead of following the perimeter of the area, and now it avoided the white sock, so that's a plus. Now we'll see how well it does avoiding these other objects. So this is the same test I've done in my previous videos, testing the S6 Max V and also the Ecovacs T8 AIVI. Both those roll-up vacuums have front-facing cameras designed to detect and recognize objects, so both the roll-up vacuums can recognize cables, socks, and shoes. Okay, let's bring up my old video where I did the exact same challenge with the T8 AIVI. Notice that it did a different cleaning pattern, started out with the perimeter sweep, and then it was able to fill in that perimeter with a back and forth clean pattern, and both roll-up vacuums did do pretty well avoiding the white sock, but it looks like the AIVI kind of hit the black sock. And now one thing to remember is both roll-up vacuums do like to suck up shoestrings, and for the most part they did a decent job being able to untangle themselves, but I do recommend trying to pick up the shoestrings and power cables if possible. And with that AIVI front-facing camera, you can see it does have live streaming capabilities. So as I analyzed these two videos, both roll-up vacuums do have their pros and cons. They're not 100% perfect. You can see that AIVI hit the black sock, whereas the true depth sensor was able to. I did analyze both footages, and both robots did really well detecting objects. The downsides to both of them is they have a narrow field of range of view, so they kind of forget where the objects are after a while. You can see that AIVI was pushing the power cables around, and for the T8 it was kind of hung up on the shoes, so it kind of got sucked towards the shoestrings and tried to untangle itself but kept spinning around and around. Luckily it was pretty easy to untangle the shoestring, just kind of gently pull away, and again the T8 just loved that shoestring, and I decided to put the shoestring up and see if the T8 can avoid the other objects. Okay, so the T8 did well avoiding the boot and also the coiled up power cable. It also did well avoiding the long power cable and the socks, but one thing it kind of struggled with was that shorter power cable. Maybe it was too small of an object or just the angle of the roll-up vacuum, it kind of missed it. That's one downside, is the true depth sensor has a very narrow field of range, but let's keep on continuing and see how well it does. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Nathan, his Roadmasters. I hope you guys are having a great day today, and yes, I'm doing great. Nope, no one said anything about me having a good day, but it's okay. So today in this video, we're going to show the new Ecovacs T8, the non-AIVI system. I'll go ahead and get this opened up, and then we'll do a bunch of different tests and see how well this guy navigates and can recognize objects over its bigger brother, the T8 AIVI. But hold on 1 second. Did you guys know that there's another new Ecovacs roll-up vacuum that came out? Yes, it's called the Deebot U2. What? A U2? Yeah, let's go and pull out my smartphone. I'll show you that real quick and show you the specs of the T8. Alright, got my Galaxy it's not a Galaxy, it's a LG. I don't know, V12, V10, who knows. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the website. And of course, I get an advertisement. Thank you so much, Ecovacs, for popping up with advertisement. Alright, so at the very beginning is the T8. This is the model I bought. So it's $649, and it has all the specs that you can expect from a high-end vacuum. You got the mopping, you got the vacuuming simultaneously, and this has true Detect 3D, so we definitely check that out. Has up to 3 hours of runtime, like the T8 AIVI. Also has the mopping system, and guess what? Yes, it works with the self-emptying bin and the vibrating mopping module, so don't worry about that. But everything else is the same versus the T8 and T8 AIVI. That was the question I get a lot. It's like, what's the difference? Well, it's just that front-facing system that's the main difference. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump back here. And you can see the price. Oh, I went forward. Okay, can you see that there's also another new robot? This is the Deebot U2. It's at $349. So it's a cheaper option. I believe it uses gyros and accelerometers, but it still has that back and forth cleaning pattern, but you don't get the smart mapping like keep out zones and area select. But this thing has a gigantic dustbin at 800 milliliters. What? 800 milliliters? That's crazy. So if you have a lot of pets, a lot of dirt in your house, maybe consider the U2. There's a Pro model, which offers up to 2.5 hours, and there's the basic model, I believe it's like 110 minutes. So this is something to consider. Alright, so you got the Deebot U2, you got this self-emptying bin. You also have the mopping system, and currently you can't buy everything together, which is the plus version. The plus version means it just comes with an accessory, either the vibrating mopping module or the self-emptying bin in the box. I did buy one from Alibaba, which came with the giant box. I'll put the link of that video down below. Also, I'll link my T8 AIVI unboxing video down below because the box is basically the same. Okay, let's go ahead and get this opened up, and I'll go ahead and start the clean test. So I do like that Ecovacs come with a colorful box. Really shows that they care about the product and give you the best user experience possible. Get this flappy tab open. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Look at this, guys. Isn't this amazing? It's a brand new Ecovacs T8. Has the flappy cover thing, has a domy thing, has this thing, that thing. It's just amazing. Yeah, that's it. That's my unboxing. Super quick. Yes, I'll put the T8 AIVI unboxing down there. You can actually see what's everything's included. Whoa, my robot's falling apart. Alright, so here's underneath the robot. It's very similar to the AIVI system, but here's the thing that's different. Alright, so you see that front there? Yes, it's a little bit different. Has the True Detection 3D. I did talk to some people in the comments and they say it's like the same thing as the iPhone, where it uses the FaceTime unlock, which is dot projection. I'm not 100% sure how the system works. I will keep analyzing it and see if I can get a verified source. But it's a really cool system. I can see like a little laser projection popping out when I'm filming, but it's very cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up this flappy thing. And yes, look inside. It's very similar to the Ecovacs T8. Dustbin, red power switch, Wi-Fi indicator, Wi-Fi reset, all that fun jazz. And you got your little clean tool down there. Yep, everything else besides that front-facing camera system is the same. So, non-camera T8 AIVI camera. Okay, so one thing I do want to verify is it does have the ability to use the accessories like the vibrating mopping module and the self-emptying bin. Let's go ahead and get the spinner out. Get this mopping module out. Right there, you may see that special power jack. Yes, it runs the vibrating mopping module. And over here is the port for the water system. Alright, very, very cool. And guess what? Pull out this doodad. Flip this guy around. Are you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. You guys see that? Whoa, I just punched a hole in my robot. Yes, that's for the self-emptying bin. Very, very cool. So yes, it does have the ability to use the accessories. Alright, let's go and get this charged up. So the other day I was just surfing the web trying to find the best robot vacuum reviewers out there. I happened to stumble upon this clown. I have no clue what he's talking about, he's just jib jabbering. Anyways, he was basically showcasing these robot vacuums with different front-facing technologies like infrared, laser-based systems, also sonar and camera-based systems, but I was all just confused. I do apologize for this guy's behaviors. These poor robot vacuums are being stressed to the max. All they want to do is just clean, and look what they had to deal with. Obstacles, crazy shoestrings, everything. Can't they just clean? Poor robot vacuums. It looks like maybe the Rollerbot laser had a chance, but it was not able to detect the smaller objects and was pushing around the clear objects. And with the S9 Pro, it was very aggressive and just basically knocked over everything. I hear you, S9 Pro. It's a very unfair challenge. Now with the Roblox S6 Max V, it tried its best, but a lot of the objects didn't get recognized. Well, I guess I had to be like everyone else, so I got my Deebot T8 and we'll see if it can handle this challenge. So I do get asked this question a lot. What's the best vacuum out there? Well, there's a lot of great options out there, but sometimes the best one might not be the right for you. So it really depends on what type of floor plan you have. For example, if you live in a one-bedroom apartment, I wouldn't recommend like the Roblox because it's kind of overkill. You could just live with a random-based vacuum. You can see that the T8 does really well recognizing these objects. It was able to recognize the glass, the shoes, also the smaller objects. Now, the biggest thing I had with most of these robot vacuums is they forget how big they are physically. So you can see that it recognized the shoe initially and then it kind of pushed it out of the way because the sides don't have any sensors on them besides the physical bump sensor. Luckily, these robot vacuums do have Wi-Fi capabilities, so they can update their software to improve the navigation. So I did find that the T8 did fairly good, and it did push the objects around. I'm not too concerned about the robot pushing the objects around. If they can get underneath the object by slightly pushing them around, that's still okay in my book. One thing I do worry about is the robot vacuum actually going over it and trying to suck it up, but luckily the T8 wasn't able to do that. It was able to recognize these objects. Now you're probably wondering, should I get the T8 or T8 AIVI? Well, it really depends on what you're looking for. If you don't mind having that front-facing camera and like privacy concerns, like having that live video feed, then I would get the AIVI. Also with the AIVI, you do have the patrol mode, so you could be away from your house, check up on your pets. You also do have a one-way communication, so you can speak directly through the robot to talk to your pets. It's a nice little feature. One thing to remember is a lot of people are worried about privacy concerns, so Ecovacs does take good measures to make sure that your privacy is secured. Also, there's a lens cover on the AIVI if you choose to use it. But for the true depth sensor, you don't have to worry about it since there's no camera system built into the robot. And both the Ecovacs models do really well untangle themselves from shoes. Another thing to consider if you get the T8 AIVI is the camera system can be affected by lighting. So certain shadows or different coloring of floor can affect it. So for example, if you have a dark floor and the room's dark, it may not be able to completely recognize the object. Also, the robot's only programmed to recognize certain objects, so unknown objects usually don't get recognized. So that's a benefit of the true depth sensors. It doesn't care what type of object it is. As long as it senses an object, it will try to go around it. I always recommend trying to pick up the room as best as possible. Occasional item on the floor is not a huge deal for these robot vacuums. Okay, so here's the results of that challenge. Keep in mind that this challenge is very hard. I purposely chose these types of objects because most of the robot vacuums fail to recognize them. So it looks like in the middle there, the Ecovacs T8 did the best with its true depth sensor. Then the bottom right was the Rollerbot Laser Eye, did a fair job keeping those objects within the same place. The worst were the 360 models like the S6 and the S9 Pro. And then lastly, the top right corner was the S6 Max V, which did a good job untangle itself from the shears, but you can see it did move a lot of the objects around. And then that random base robot vacuum, the bottom left, the iLife A4S, did okay for what it was. So for the best was the Deebot T8. So you're probably wondering why the T8 AIVI wasn't in the picture. Well, I didn't have the robot at the time, and I only had the S6 Max V as a camera-based robot vacuum, so that was my comparison. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap up this video. I found that the T8 was a really good robot vacuum cleaner. Has all the same specs as the AIVI with that 24 CFM, long battery life, around 3 hours. You can't go wrong with either model, either the T8 or the T8 AIVI. Now, one thing to note is I did find that the T8 did navigate slightly better than the AIVI around obstacles because that true detection 3D sensor did really good detecting objects. Also, I found the navigation was slightly better. I'm pretty sure they used the same navigation algorithms, but just with that improved sensor really helped out the robot vacuum. So I really do appreciate you watching my videos. I do enjoy doing these videos for you, and I'll probably see you guys next time. But make sure you like and subscribe because it really helps out the video, and I'm planning on getting new products on this channel, so stay tuned for that. You guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you guys next time.